Hi, everyone.
Hey.
I'm Alicia,
And I'm Meredith.
and this is It's About the Pasta, a Vanderpump Rules podcast, season 5, episode 13. We're still making our way through. I have
Making my
nothing else.
way downtown. That's all I thought of.
Same, honestly. Okay, before we get into this episode, check us out on the A&M Podcast Network. We have this podcast. We have Summer's Fun, a Summer House podcast, which also includes Martha's Vineyard and Winter House. And we have One Season Wonders. Please be sure to rate, review, subscribe. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Vanderpasta. And join our Patreon, patreon.com/Vanderpasta. Let me tell you what you can get. For $1 a month, you get access to all of our fun pre-shows where Meredith and I and sometimes Sarah talk about whatever the fuck we want. And then also you'll get access to any episodes we record early, including this one. And then for $2 a month, you get access to everything I just mentioned. Plus, when we go back and we watch old seasons like we are right now, we will do an after show so we can talk about current Bravo news while not giving away spoilers on the podcast. Also, we'll say your name on the podcast. So thank you too. Hang on.
You got this.
Okay.
One breath.
No. Okay, ready?
The way you started to breathe in.
Okay. I have to thank everyone. Okay. Chris, Darby, Dee, Dustin, Gabriella, Jackie, Jamie, Kirsten, Casey, Kelsey, Lauren, Sarah, Cameron, Tierney, Tonette, Tracy, Emily, Gina, Isabella, Jennifer, Jesse, Leanne, Rebecca, Rio, Robin, Sarah, and Taylor.
Woohoo!
I did it in one breath.
You crushed it.
Maybe I did take a breath.
Believe in yourself. Well,
you don't.
I don't notice if you do.
That's the whole point. I fake it till I make it.
There it is.
And then for $5 a month, you get access to everything I just mentioned. Plus, when we have live shows or when I feel like it, like I did today, I'll post in the Patreon and ask for your questions, comments, opinions, concerns, and you'll be able to give it to me. Or I'll post about book club and then you give us your book thoughts, which we did today on the pre-show.
It could be book club, it could be TV, it could be movies.
That's true. I really did only ask for books, but
I feel like we should do recommendation club.
Recommendation club. I love that. And also we'll pick a patron of the episode. So this week's patron of the episode, let me make sure I haven't picked this person before. Jamie.
Woo!
So should we get into the episode?
Let's do it.
Great. So previously on Vanderpump Rules, Jax got roasted in front of Sherry and they called him out for maybe sleeping with men. Schwartz asked Katie for a prenup and she agreed. We have no idea where Lala is. This rando girl, Ellie, is super into telling everyone that she slept with James and getting them to believe her. I still don't understand why that matters, but okay. So we open up. We go to Villa Blanca. Lisa's here. Tom and Ariana are gonna come soon because they need to teach Villa Blanca how to make drinks.
Am I stupid or were these drinks so easy that like this did not need to happen?
The drinks were really easy, and I love Sandoval how he boasted, and he's like, if you need a good drink made, you call me.
Like, okay, I like appreciate Sandoval being really into his job and like his little cocktails things. Like he is like the way he says like you want to call Jax. Okay, yeah, agreed, but like we don't need anybody for this.
You could have just emailed the instructions over. I think that
yes, and the way he was like, oh, their cranberry juice is darker than ours.
I literally was like, it's just cranberry juice.
Let's not take it too seriously. Like if you're making a really intense cool cocktail, like cocktails have become way bigger deal nowadays, and like there's some really cool stuff out there, but I forget what they even made, but it was like 4 ingredients.
It's 4 ingredients. The cocktail juice isn't the same. One of them must be using ocean spray or something. I don't even fucking know. Who cares? But then Sandoval's like, hey, Lisa, guess what? Me and James are going to go to hypnotherapy to help him get control of his emotions. And Lisa's like, he doesn't need a hypnotherapist. He needs to be sober. Doesn't matter. Tom believes in hypnotherapy. I don't know if I believe in hypnotherapy.
I don't either. I was going to ask you what you thought about this.
I've watched a hypnotist like hypnotize people before.
Me too.
But also part of me is even skeptical about that. Like, I'm like, it just seems like they're faking it.
I always wonder, like, what the hell are you doing? I feel like we need to go together because I would know you would be like, no, this didn't happen.
Some people can't get hypnotized though.
I think I'm so skeptical. I don't think I could.
Same. I think it's one of those things where you'd have to believe it and then you'd fall into it. Like I would never be totally relaxed enough to be
Me neither.
hypnotized. Yeah. It's called anxiety.
Also, I think James needs to stop drinking on Lisa's comment, but also I do think he needs to deal with his anger issues.
I think he needs to deal with his parents' trauma or the trauma his parents have
like
caused.
Stopping drinking is not going to fix everything. Like there's other root problems here, and I don't think it's hypnotherapy that'll help him, but like some therapy will do him well.
Some therapy, maybe
some real therapy. Lose the hypno. Some Jesus.
Maybe
Jesus. To talk to Brittany's mom.
That's what I'm saying. Sherry's going to church. Okay, but the Villa Blanca employee, whatever his name is, actually enjoys James the one time he met James. And I feel like I would also enjoy James if I met him once.
I feel like it probably takes a little bit for James to really destroy the world. Like I think he could come into Villa Blanca like 5 times and fuck up once.
Yeah, fuck yeah. I'm into it. So then we go to some lounge where James is meeting his mom. It's a little awkward because they haven't seen each other for a while because James has been having such a hard time with his parents' separation that he's been avoiding his mom as part of his way to deal with it, which I think is a bad way, but so James's mom asks how life is and he goes into some explanation about pies where he basically eventually just tells her that he got fired from Pump.
Wait, and then the way he goes, I got pied from Pump, and like, sir, awesome. I was like, wow, this was on before the Love Island.
Yeah,
where we really knew what this lingo was, and I was I get it.
Yeah, I got pied. I understand it.
You pied me off.
I'm sure when I watched this originally, I was like, he literally made that up because he was talking about pies.
I probably thought he was just like using the words about pieces of a pie rather than
if I was like, I got caked off after I had a whole explanation about cake,
Yes.
Just like really basic, but no, he pied off is a real thing.
Yes.
In the British culture.
I loved it so much. I really am enjoying rewatching this season, especially. I don't know why.
This is a good one. Okay. So James tells his mom all about the thing with Gigi and how they were yelling at each other. And his mom's like, "Ugh, that's because people are jealous of you." And I was like, oh my God, mom is the one that tells him everyone's jealous of him.
Oh my God. The way she is just like validating any ounce of feeling he has. I can't tell. I wonder if she's always been this way, but my mom would never do this to me. Just like parrot everything I said back to me. Yeah. And just be like, you're so great. And everybody else sucks. To be honest, my mom's the complete opposite. She's like, what did you do to those people?
Oh my God. When I'd come home and be like, my teacher hates me, my mom would be like, what'd you do to make your teacher hate you? And I'd be like, what do you mean what I do?
Like, don't you want to defend me?
Perfect. So I mean, James's mom is, I guess, what we wished for, but probably should never have.
I feel like we're better off for not having this. Yeah, like 100%. James is a little delulu.
James also tells his mom about his new residency and how he's gonna rap, and his mom's like, "Cool, I want to come watch." Listen, if I told my mom I was going to rap somewhere, she would probably disown me and never show up.
My mom would not be happy with this.
I get this is his career.
But after you got fired and now you have a new residency and I'm like, come join me, Mom. My mom would be like, whoa, I'm still not over you being fired. Like, what's going on?
You're going to rap now? Try again. Okay. So also he talks about how things are going well with Raquel. James's mom loves Raquel. James says Raquel is love of his life. He says
only been dating for like 2 months. I've never said somebody is the love of my life. How do you know?
I haven't had a love of my life either. I do have one guy where I think it was right guy, wrong time to this day.
I've had somebody who like the one who got away kind of feeling. Yeah. But like 6 months, then I just can't imagine saying, I can imagine saying I love you to someone, but not like you're the love of my life.
I am 21. Love of my own life.
I don't think anybody will be the love of my life because I love myself a lot.
Food, love of my life.
Oh, good point.
Maybe it's how we feel about movies. Maybe it's how we feel about food. Like
but like I've had 28 years of a relationship with maybe minus 6 months.
Yeah, but like
relationship with food.
But like think of your favorite food. Do you get like super excited and like you're just like I can't wait to eat it and see
I guess it's just hard for me to believe that. Like after his version of this because he and they don't live in the same city. I'm just very anti long distance, and so I'm very skeptical.
Oh, I'm very pro long distance, but I'm not out here going love of my life is in
That's the
Japan.
thing. Like in Japan.
Love of my life. But he does say this, you know what? James is in love because he says he could be out here cheating with models, but he doesn't because he loves Raquel.
To be honest,
So
I like believe he could get some models because, like, I mean, Schwartz is a model, so like the level of models,
he could get Schwartz if he wanted.
yes. But like when you have a cheating kind of scandal going about, maybe let's not say this comment.
Love of his life. He's proving to us how much he loves Raquel. He's not cheating on her. Man, if that's not what love, I don't know what love is.
He's taking a book out of like Jax Taylor, like
bare minimum. I haven't cheated on you yet.
All the sound bites
I love
for producers.
He also shares that Kristen is spreading rumors about him cheating on Raquel. And man, does James's mom fucking hate Kristen. She's like, you know what Kristen's karma is gonna be? She's never gonna have children. And I was like, holy shit,
I was
lady.
like taken aback. I was like, all right, we don't need to comment on that.
I'm sorry, I know that's mean, but like that's her karma. She's infertile. I was like, Jesus.
I don't even know if we've ever heard her talk about if she wants kids or not, but I just feel like somebody else's womb is not up for my discussion.
No, let's not talk about people's bodies, you know.
Do you think his mom liked Kristen while they were dating?
No. Has any mother ever said thank God?
I know, but you know, sometimes like just because his mom is like a parrot of whatever James feels and vice versa. I just wonder if in the moment he, like, whenever they first started dating, if she was like head over heels for Kristen, and then now that they're not together, like now we hate her.
I don't think so, because he would have brought Kristen home and said she's way older than me. Not way older, but she's older than me. She still works at SIR. She's still getting in fights. She has zero friends. We just got in a fight with her ex. His mom would be like, this is the girl.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. And like James does no wrong. And so
he met Kristen at a very bad point in her life that I can't imagine she was impressing mothers.
True. Okay. Yep. Always hated her.
Another guy who doesn't impress mothers, Jax Taylor. We go to his apartment with Brittany. Sherry has to leave, but good thing she's going out in silver lipstick because
Jesus Christ, Sherry, come on, one day without it, please.
Yeah, so she checks in with Brittany on all the Jax stuff, you know, because even though he hasn't cheated on her, he could. And Sherry's like, you know, that roast told a lot. And Brittany's like, I know Jax hasn't cheated on me. And Sherry's like, are you sure? And Brittany shares, as if we didn't put two and two together, that she comes from a really religious background. And if these things are true about Jax, her mom's going to question him even more. And I was like, well, they are true. There's a full TV show to show all the sins he's done.
But even if they were or weren't true, why did we bring mom to the roast then? If she was going to have a problem with like bad things, why did we have
I don't feel bad for Brittany's mom hating Jax. No. I don't feel bad for Brittany because she fucking brought him to the roast. And
Jax like kind of I'm gonna say like kind of allowed it. I mean, there's only so much you can say. It's on Brittany, to be honest.
It's on Brittany. Because listen, I'm sure Jax was like, are you sure you want to bring your mom?
Yeah.
And Brittany was like, oh my God, my mom's going to have the best time. I fucking love my mom. She can't say that, obviously. But so Jax is home with Ralph's groceries because now that Sherry's leaving, we're going to finally have food in the house, you know?
Whoa, no. He goes, we're going to eat healthy. And then he immediately pulls out a tortilla chip bag. And I'm like, what?
The healthiest chip there is.
I wouldn't deem that as healthy. And then in his interview, he talked about how he can't wait for her to leave so he can eat chicken wings. I'm like, all right, we're not on a diet here.
They're gluten-free, I guess. I don't know. So they can't take Sherry to the airport because they have to work. And Jax is so happy Sherry's leaving. He's honestly like,
I kind of get that. Like,
I do too.
Well, like just having your kind of I'm gonna call this like mother-in-law in town. Is like frustrating, and you have to be like truly on your best behavior. And for Jax Taylor, that is difficult.
It's hard.
And then also, to be honest, for me, it's like not sleeping in my own bed. Get the fuck out of here so I can have my bed back.
I want my life back.
Yeah.
So Sherry, though, before she leaves, she wants to talk to Jax about the roast. Because she's not happy to hear that Jax might have been homosexual at some
I don't
point.
understand that that's the biggest issue. I mean, I understand it, but like, come on, you literally just, what happened to the cheating issue?
He's cheated on every girlfriend he's ever had.
That's a bigger issue.
No, he might be homosexual.
Oh God.
Jax says he's not against it, but he himself is not gay. And he says he has kissed John, his old roommate, on the cheek. He does it with his father too. He'd honestly kiss his father on the lips. And I was like, that's different. Also, I have talked on this podcast before. I hate when parents and kids kiss on the lips. I think it's
kissing family members on the lips were anti. But like not because it's quote unquote homosexual.
No,
it's we just find it weird. Weird family relationships.
It's not homo, no homo.
Even moms and sons, weird. Actually, weirder. I can't imagine kissing my dad on the lips. I mean,
when I tell you, my dad and I were watching a show where the father and daughter kiss on the lips, and my dad goes, "Oh my God, gross!" And I know, even if it's just a peck, I want my dad's lips nowhere near my lips.
Agreed.
No, whether or not it's homosexual. I'm dying. Honestly,
my hip doesn't even hug, so like we're not kissing on the lips.
Gun to my head. Weirdly, I think it'd be less weird to kiss my mom on the lips than my dad. So like pro homo, I guess. I don't know. Is that how
I would rather kiss my mom on the lips because I feel like it would be less weird. Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe sons feel that way with their dad.
No, I don't. Let's not blanket this. This is the Jax thing.
A lot of kids on Teen Mom do it, and I hate it.
Okay, I'm going to give them a break because they're like little children. It is even worse when you are adults.
No, the 13-year-olds I know.
They are way too old.
Still do it.
I agree. It's
disgusting.
Too old.
No one, listen, I ever have a kid.
Doesn't need to be kissing his dad on the lips.
I'm like cracking up. Disgusting. I'd rather he kiss John on the lips.
I'm so happy this is where this discussion led because I just hate Sherry in this conversation.
It's the worst. So yeah, so Jack says basically believe what you want, but it didn't happen.
I appreciate this is the first time I'm ever proud of him because
I'm pro Jack.
Don't apologize for this, like, because it was a joke. I mean, even if it's true, like, you do not need to bend to the will of this lady over something that is truly none of her business.
Also, who cares if you are bisexual? Who cares if you just had a relationship with John, but you identify as straight?
Especially a hater when it's none of her business.
Who cares? Literally no one. Also, John was when you were 23. You have cheated on many girlfriends in more recent years.
And not, like, with women. And so...
23 was like 20 years ago, my dude. You just got to forget. Brittany wasn't even born. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh lordy.
But maybe.
Brittany was in diapers when this happened, probably.
So... Brittany gets mad at Jax for having an attitude with her mom, for basically being like, it's over and done with Sherry. Even though I thought he did the right thing. He was like, believe it or not.
I think he had too much an attitude. I think he was just like putting up a wall, being like,
I'm not willing to do this. Sherry's going to keep being like, are you sure you're not a homosexual? And he's going to be like, yeah, Sherry. And she's going to be like, but your friend said. So he's
not like John is in his life. If John was in his life and she believed this and thought maybe like, Jax would cheat on Brittany with John, maybe you could like convince me of something, but like this was so long ago. He's not in like his life. Like what is he supposed to change about his life to make you happy?
That's
he
my
can't
thing.
Go back
like,
in time.
What Sherry's like trying to get at. So Jax said, believe it or not, I don't really care, but like it didn't happen, and I know that. So Brittany's all mad, and Jax is just like, this discussion means nothing to me, honestly. And Jax feels attacked, so he leaves. And then as he leaves, he tells Brittany all she does is sit on the couch while he takes care of her. And Brittany and her mom look at each other like, what?
I mean, he loves to throw this out anytime he's mad about something or like people ask him to do something.
I'm not
honestly,
a homosexual. I'm actually a straight man who takes care of you, you dumb bitch.
I hate that he throws this out there because that's not the discussion they're having. I understand being frustrated and like walking out just purely on the discussion they were having, but throwing in this thing about like taking care of Brittany, don't weaponize like quote unquote good deeds you do. Gross. You lost me now.
So Brittany texts Jax to come and apologize to her mom because Brittany is so mad. He does come back. He tells Brittany she needs to learn to pick and choose her battles, but he does apologize to Sherry for having to see that, but says Brittany needs to realize what she has.
Oh my God. And Brittany's like, excuse me, am I ever not grateful? And I was like, yeah, can we stop this stupid fight, you people?
Let me tell you, if this was me, my boyfriend, and my mother, my mom would be like, what the fuck is happening in this relationship?
My mom would be pissed.
But Sherry just goes, I just want y'all to be happy.
Clearly, we are not happy.
My
mom would be like screaming for me with this man. If
my
he
mom
ever
would,
throw
my
out.
mom would be like, we're going.
I am not interested in a situation where somebody pays for me. Like, I want to be financially like
independent.
Free. Yes, that's the word. Financially free is what I was going with.
Independent.
So like I don't ever want somebody to like throw this at me, but if I swear to God, if like I'm in a relationship where somebody is like throwing jabs at me like this, that's not okay no matter what it's about.
No. So Jax says it feels like he does too much. And Brittany hears and is like, excuse me, when have I ever had to stop you from doing what you want to do? You're choosing to do this. So Sherry feels uncomfortable. She asks them to stop. Jax says Brittany has changed because she's around all these LA girls. And Sherry's like, well, I think she's the same.
I love that.
And Sherry just says maybe Jack should go to church because he needs Jesus.
Like, I don't think church is gonna fix this, darling.
I don't think that's the answer, Sherry, but it was a good try. Yes. Really good try. I don't know the rules of the Catholic Church, but I'd imagine if your daughter's shacking up with someone, you want them to get married.
Oh my God, Jax goes into more church things, and I realized he definitely had to have gone to a Catholic church before.
Oh my God,
he talks about
it. I was let's talk about it once we get there. I was freaking out. Okay, so then we go to Sir really quick because Victor the painter is here. But also Lisa, Katie, and Peter also like have to.
Why are they painting? Why are they painting
here? Peter,
I don't
manager.
know.
Getting overtime.
So Alicia, the things aren't even off the walls. Like there is a
art painting around. Yeah. That was great. So Katie, I think Peter's just here to listen to Katie talk. I don't even know.
I think so too.
So Katie shares that the bridesmaids are having another meeting without her and she doesn't know what's happening, but Sheena shared about the money fight that they had. And now Katie's wondering if she should get involved for the bachelorette party to keep the peace. And Lisa's like, I would normally say no, but your bridesmaids suck. So yeah. And that's basically this whole painting thing.
Oh God. So, thank God she picked out a color where we can move on from that.
Dusty pink, fucking finally.
I think it was a purple though.
It was a purple. I was about to say it wasn't even the dusty pink. So now we go to Suit Fellas, where Schwartz, Sandoval, Jackson, Ariana are here to buy suits for the wedding.
Really quick, if they're trying to keep costs down, why are we doing custom suits? I mean, just me.
Sandoval wants it. Sandoval's paying for all of them. This is his thing.
That's true.
So, Jack says they'll probably all want slim fits, but the suit guy's like, you need an athletic fit. And you would have thought that this was Mean Girls when the lady goes, you can try Sears. We only carry sizes 1, 3, and 5. Okay. Jax was so offended.
Athletic is not offensive.
You need a wide fit. That's when you can be offended.
I would rather like have somebody with like Jax's body type than like Schwartz's.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like he never said like, oh, you need the big and tall. Like
you need the wide berth. Yes. Like what? This was
simmer
fine.
Down. Like, sorry, you're not a preteen boy.
You're okay. So Schwartz isn't in charge of a lot of things, but he is in charge of the suits. Also, the Suit Fellows looks like a discount place. So I feel
agree,
like Schwartz,
but if they're being custom made, I don't feel like this is as sketchy as it seems. I know what you're saying, like by the look of it.
Crazy, yeah.
But like, I bet some good quality stuff is coming out of it. Like, I mean, it's no like Armani, but it's better
I
than
mean,
like the rando David's bridal suit you're gonna get.
well, are you sure? I was gonna say, do we think Suit Fellas is better than David's Bridal?
Yes.
I don't know.
If it's custom, like you're gonna make it to fit
You can
me
get custom
exactly.
at David's Bridal.
Come on, it's David's bridal though.
It's Suit Fellas.
I mean, I
That's
wouldn't say
that
the
sounds like
name.
something from Sopranos.
I wouldn't
Go
say
to
the
Suit
name of the place. I would just
Fellas.
be like, we got custom suits for the wedding.
Going to Suit
For
Fellas.
my guy, I forget what the
Hey
guy's name
Tony, we're
is.
going to Suit Fellas. That's what it sounds like to me. So, okay, so Sandoval asks if he can wear a tux, but Schwartz says no, because he's gonna be the only one wearing a tux. And then Sandoval's like, what about a black vest? And Schwartz is like,
Oh my
no. So
god.
Sandoval starts crying. So then Schwartz agrees to the black vest.
I hate this so much.
This was manipulative. Let
Yeah,
him
it's
have his
not
black
your
vest.
wedding.
Night
He gets
Schwartz lit.
one thing to pick out, and you're already taking
You're
that from him.
upstaging him at his own wedding.
Jesus.
So then we go to the bridesmaid meeting. Ooh ha ha. So at the table, I was sent cracking up. Sheena pulls out her $500 in an envelope to hand to Kristen across the table. That was
incredible.
awesome. That was
Because
hilarious.
I love that move, because then everybody, like, Kristen can't deny she was given the money. Like, Sheena did this so purposefully, and I love that she did this. Like, fuck you guys. Like,
And
stop
now
making
Brittany
me a
can
topic
be
of
like,
conversation.
we didn't pay for that. Now everyone else is aware.
Yeah.
Okay, so Brittany shares with everyone what happened with Jax getting super mad. And some random girl at the end of the table definitely doesn't give a fuck about this, but Brittany's sharing anyway. So Stassi says she knows what Brittany's going through because Jax would fight with her parents too. And listen, I'm not bringing anyone home who's going to fight with my parents. I can tell you that right now.
Listen, I mean,
unless it's Sherry and she thinks you're a homosexual.
I just, I can't believe he is the exact same person. I just would be mortified, especially the first few times you're meeting my parents. Sure, down the line, if like something offends you, I want you to be able to speak your mind a little bit. My parents can be a lot, and so like it wouldn't offend me if they fought with my parents over something normal, I'll say. But my family like are fighters, so like we just love a good argument. So I could see it in my family, but please don't do this to me the first like 5.
Other can't start the fight. That's like rule
Yes,
numero uno.
yes. Well, I don't think Jack started this fight.
I think he escalated it.
Yes.
Like, okay, yeah. Okay, so now we gotta talk about the Bachelorette. No Vegas. The girls fucking hate Vegas, probably because Jack's impregnated half of it.
And they're just over. I bet they go a lot.
Fuck Vegas. So Stassi's like, what about New Orleans? Because that's where she's from, so she could help him plan it, which I thought was genius.
Well, not even that. She says like it's really cheap. It is.
Yeah.
And it's really fun. It's like Vegas, but just like more chill. Like there's casinos there. I am obsessed with New Orleans, so I get this.
I love New Orleans. Well, I hypothetically I've never been. I'm waiting to go for my own.
I love New Orleans. I've never been.
I've romanticized it in my head.
You would love it.
I'm pro New Orleans. So Kristen texts Schwartz and is like, no Vegas. What about New Orleans? And the boys are like, but we want Vegas. So they counter with the Bahamas. So then the girls ask, what about the Bahamas? And Brittany doesn't have a passport, so we can't go there. And then Sheena's like, I just want everyone to plan a piece of the Bachelorette. And if we go to New Orleans, then Stassi, you're going to plan the whole thing. And that makes me sad.
I don't feel like it's true, because Stassi kind of towards the end of this says they decide on New Orleans. Well, the girls steamroll it into New Orleans.
Yeah.
But Stassi says, like, if everybody wants to look at like what there is to do and let me know what you want to do, like do that. Like I think Stassi is open to what New Orleans has to offer if people are interested in specific things, but she would know like restaurants to go to and how to like just, I don't know, coordinate the weekend better.
That's the thing. If people were like, hey, I want to visit Chicago for the first time, I would be like, let me show you around. Let me take you. I'm very familiar with it. Let me help. But I wouldn't be like, this is our exact schedule we're doing.
Like no discussion. And I really don't think Stassi would, well, with Sheena maybe. But if like 8 people are like, we want to do a ghost tour, I don't think Stassi's going to be like, no.
Also, though, why would you want to help plan a bachelorette? Just tell me where to go. I'm showing up, Sheena, whatever. So I think Sheena just wanted to be like the maid of honor. So it makes her, because everyone wants to be the maid of honor of this wedding for some reason. So if Stassi plans the bachelorette, it makes her kind of the maid of honor.
Yeah, ups
even
her in
though
the
Katie has
hierarchy.
not given one.
Do we have one? I thought this the whole entire scene. Is there a maid of honor?
No, I think it's just bridesmaids. Brittany brings up Ariana coming on the bachelorette trips. Stassi doesn't feel awkward around Ariana because Ariana should feel awkward for being mean. And I was like, okay.
I don't think she was mean, so this is hard for me to follow.
So Kristen's still texting Schwartz about New Orleans. Jax is really annoyed because he also hates that Stassi has lived there, and now we have to do what Stassi wants to do.
Oh my God.
But it is official. We're going to NOLA, baby.
Oh, I love New Orleans. Highly recommend, everyone.
Okay, so now we're at flower shopping. Katie and Lisa are looking at flowers for Katie's wedding because Katie doesn't know anything about flowers. So
I don't either. Lisa's a great resource. I would love for Lisa to design my bouquets.
So Lisa's basically like, what's your flower budget? And Katie's like, I don't know, like 6K. And the florist is like, wow, that's a really small event. That's for
like a small event.
And then
flowers are expensive.
Yeah. Katie vents about how Schwartz is super cheap. And then shares that the fight the other day when they were both drunk, they were arguing about everything. I'm sure it included money. And Lisa's like, do you even like each other? Basically.
Good question.
And also she's like, you're not supposed to fight in the outside world because you're supposed to be a fucking team.
I'm learning a lot about a relationship through them.
This is exhausting.
Like,
okay.
Yeah, this just makes me sad.
It's not good.
And we've seen other Bravo couples go through this too, like fighting when they're planning a wedding, and it makes it feel like icky.
Yeah, it makes me feel like you guys hate each other. Okay.
Yeah.
So then we go to James's apartment. Sandoval's here. They're getting ready for the hypnotherapy session. Sandoval shares what he thinks James's problem is, which is not controlling his emotions, but this will help. James is very skeptical though, especially after Kristen made him do crystal therapy.
I forgot about that, and I
no idea what that is. No.
James is a good friend for being like, you know what? Thank you for like recommending this. I'll give it a try.
He's us. He's too skeptical to like.
No, I'm meaner. I would come up with a reason why I can't do it. I would never entertain this.
I'd be like, this sounds super dumb. Okay, so Barbara's here. She's the hypnotherapist. James shares with Barbara that alcohol is not good for him, and Barbara asks what he wants, and James says he wants to make music and show others that he's not a jerk because people think James is too perfect, and he wants to show people that he's just human.
Sure.
Sandoval feels like James is always the underdog, but he's just cocky as a defense mechanism, but he's really a delicate soul, which that I agree with.
A delicate soul.
I love an underdog, and I do think James is way more sensitive than he's letting on.
I agree. I think he uses his words as like a wall to like push people away.
Yeah, because if he hurts you worse, he's not as hurt in his eyes.
I agree. Yeah. Or he can like blame it on like a sparring match. Like, oh, well, this is why I'm hurt because we got into an argument, not because you like actually see me for who I am and are
you just don't like me.
I think I do this a little bit too. I like to like push people away and be mean to them so then I can be like, well, this fight is why this isn't working out. Bye. I see.
I don't fight with enough people. I don't care enough. I'm Ariana. Keep in mind, I'm always like, whatever. Yeah. So James gets hypnotized, but he basically is like, if it doesn't work, I get a 20-minute nap. So, but he's like really relaxed. And then afterward, the hypnotherapist is like awake, and he's like, oh, what happened? And I couldn't tell if it worked or not.
But I also feel like out of respect for Tom, he would just fake it, you know?
I would too, but I want in his interview to be like, it didn't work.
Like I took a nap.
Yeah. I like heard her say wake up, and I just woke up. So now let's go to the stables. Ariana is here to ride. She brought Sheena. Ariana's a big horse girl. She started riding when she was 6. She got her own horse when she was 8, and they were together for 22 years, but poor Raven recently died. So
sad.
He says it's hard to describe someone to someone who's not a horse person, the connection between horse and rider.
I agree with this.
I'm not a horse person.
I am. I grew up riding horses and like not
oh
like
my
to
God,
this
you
level.
hate pets, but
I
you
know.
love horses.
I know. Big
It's
horse
like a
girl.
big dog.
No. But I didn't do like what she's doing. I did like camps and stuff, and so it's more like wilderness, like horse stuff. Like I like learned to ride bareback and like take care of horses. I love them.
I'm equal opportunity with all animals. They're all fine. I just don't need them.
No, I love horses. I mean, also like I didn't own my own, so it's not like I really had to like have it as a pet, I would say, and like really take care of it.
You didn't have that connection with one horse.
No, the responsibility and annoyance that like comes with like an animal.
But there has to be a different connection that you had with horses versus what Ariana had 22 years with this horse.
That is so different. Like, yeah, that was her person. But I understand her being like, I like horses more than most people.
Yeah, I get that. I like, you know what, dust more than I like most people. So.
That's you know what, that's true. The bar's low for her.
The bar's low for people. Okay, so Ariana rides while Sandoval, who's now here, and Sheena watch. When she's done, they all talk. Sandoval's super pumped about James being hypnotized.
This is weird. The fact that this is now the like second group he's talking to this about.
Yeah. Also, Sheena fucking hates James because of all the terrible things he's done to women. Because Sheena's also a defender of women. Even though one time she said she'd rather get gangbanged than hang out with a bunch of women. So
thank you. And she was like flirting with Jax whenever he was with Stassi in season 1.
But they're both defender of women, so maybe they were just saving the world together.
You know what? You're right. Who am I?
We have to do we're never gonna do this, but what if we did it where we watch it back as what we know now, so we just fucking shit on everyone constantly?
I mean, that's what our post show is.
Imagine if we had watched season 1 and been like, oh, defenders of women, like
I see what you're saying, or like even things
knowing everything
that we know because we're watching in present time too, and we're like filtering between the two. Even the jokes from this last season that it's really hard for me not to say them. Like
yeah, but how hilarious.
Like, shout out to the wolf pack for those who know.
Oh my God, I love the wolf pack. Okay, so that is a spoiler as we will get on this.
But it's not. It's just a coded message.
You're right. So Ariana and Sandoval tell Sheena how they're going to a painting class. It was supposed to be a double date with Schwartz and Katie, but now Stassi's joining, and Ariana's like, whatever, Stassi sucks, but I'm gonna be fine. And besides, Ariana likes the guys more than the girls in this group anyway, but horses more than most people. So Stassi's at the bottom of the list. She doesn't really care.
I wonder if Stassi invited herself or if like Katie invited. Because if Katie invited,
I feel like Stassi was like, what are you doing this weekend? And Katie's like, I gotta go to this stupid double date. What are you doing? And Stassi said, I'm doing nothing. And Katie said, why don't you just come?
Yeah.
And Stassi said, I don't want to intrude, but I have nothing else to do.
I don't think Stassi would say, I don't want to intrude, but I think she jumped at the chance to do something. But I think we as people need to learn that it's okay to not be invited to things.
Yeah, especially this.
Yeah, like Stassi doesn't
listen. If you're going to a party, fucking invite me. But if
yes,
painting, I could do this by myself. I could sip and paint.
But I've had 2 friends tell me like they're getting drinks and be like, do you want to come? And I'm like, no, like you guys deserve your alone time. You've had this planned for weeks.
Yeah,
like
it's not necessary. Mm-hmm. So Sandoval also shares that Schwartz and Katie are currently getting a prenup. Sheena's appalled. Why would you get a prenup?
I didn't realize she would be so appalled. I just feel like
trust the person. And I was like, Sheena, your husband is doing drugs behind your back. You don't trust him as far as you could throw him. You have him on a strict drinking plan.
I would think that these, especially at this time, was more common in LA. So I feel like these would be the pop. Like if Brittany was shocked about a prenup, okay, you could give like that makes more sense. But like Sheena, you've lived in California your whole life.
Also, you're married to a man you do not trust. To the point that you monitored his drinking.
But she probably would never say that because it would be really hard for her to admit.
She's one of those that's like, if you get a prenup, you're basically saying it's not going to work. No. It's Ariana and Sandoval both say like things happen, dude. Like you got to protect yourself.
Yes.
Not that Katie and Schwartz have much to protect.
I always think if my partner turned out to be a serial killer, I want to be like, that's not my fault. So like I want to.
Yeah. I'll
separate
testify
myself.
against you, and I want to take my money and fucking run.
Yes, do not touch my shit.
Fucking bye. You used my knives to kill these women? That's against the prenup.
All right, let's not put murder into the prenup.
So we go to the lawyers. Katie and Schwartz get in the prenup. Katie asks, hey, did you look up what this prenup costs, Mr. Cheapskate? And he did. It's like 2.5K. And Katie's like, so you should pay for it.
I'm shook by that because, to be honest, this is just like a simple contract. And you don't even have to. I was thinking through the cost of this. You're paying for the lawyer's time. You probably have like other people in the office. You're paying for their time. So I get that this might be like
filed is a big one.
I don't think you have to file this because it's just a contract. This isn't something you need to file in the courts. Like contracts you don't have to file. So like there's no filing fee that I know of. I always texted my dad about this because he does family law, but obviously like Midwest costs are gonna be different than LA. He must have found a pretty fucking expensive lawyer, I think.
How much does a prenup cost?
Like in my mind, this should not be. This is like probably like 3 hours of time, and so that's
at least $3,000.
That's
for a prenup attorney
to me.
Although the prices may be steep, it can save you money and time in the long run.
I just feel like a lot of this cost is going to be the lawyer's time, and so then that's like basically like $500 per hour. And like, I don't think you need like the best of the best to create a
depending on where you live, it can go upwards of $8,000.
That's just wild to me. I would say shop around.
I think if you go in, right, sure, you need the lawyer's time. You go in and go, these are all of our assets. They weren't prepared. So that's
the thing is like, I would already have this. I don't need the lawyer to discuss this with me. I would already decide what we're doing with our stupid dogs.
Yeah. Also,
we're not having dogs, by the way. So we can cut out that conversation.
I understand Katie's point of like, you are going to pay for all of this, but I want to be like, I don't know, it's benefit for both of you. I'd be like, just pay. Also,
but because
what's mine is yours.
That's the thing. Is like, I hate when people say that when they're like engaged. I guess if you end up not getting married, it does matter. But like, if he pays for it, that's money that you can't use. So
I said either way that this money is not going towards your wedding, so it does not matter.
Yeah, but I kind of like the comment to him because
I do too. Because fuck him.
Yes, on shit about all the dollars.
Okay, so the lawyer's here, and he's basically like, talk about your assets. And they're like,
my God.
Okay, these people, listen, I know I'm pro prenup. And
you don't need a prenup.
As far as your dogs, but these people do not need a prenup, okay? I have a savings account, a 401k. That shit's going in prenup. I don't have any real property. I have a car, I guess.
But like, if you also like were engaged with somebody who did have property, like before you guys got together, like
let's say we don't. Let's say you and I are getting married. We're getting a prenup. We have no real property, but we have money, and I have a car in my name. I would just want that to be like, you're not getting my car.
And like he said to Katie and Tom, like California's like, you would want to take into consideration the laws of where you're getting married and most likely going to live the rest of like where in theory you would probably get divorced. That California is a community property state. And so whatever you do make in the marriage should be split 50-50. And so if you don't want, because everybody already has a prenup in place, it's just the laws that are out there. And so if you don't want to abide by the California laws that were already set in place, you need a prenup to say that. So when Tom says, I don't want to take whatever she makes and she shouldn't take whatever I make if we get divorced, that's something you would want to write in there. And like, that's worth it.
If she makes 10 times more than you, it doesn't matter if you're in court like, no, I want to give her what she made.
Well, you could decide that.
Yeah, but
like, who's going to do that?
They're going to split it equally and be like, you figure it out.
At the time you're getting divorced, are you really going to turn down all that money? Like, and be polite and say
lawyer shit. Yeah. So, great. So let's talk about their current assets. They have no real property. Katie has a checking account of $2,000. $200. You're right, $200 and a savings of $4,700. Which let me tell if honestly, if you don't have over 10K, I would say you don't really need a prenup. But 47,000, okay, decent. 4,700. Sorry,
I was shocked then to hear she doesn't have like a 401k or something like.
No, why would you have a 401k if you have $4,700? $4,000.
No, I know, but I was shocked she didn't have like more money elsewhere in a sense.
No, this seemed right.
I just when she said her assets, I was like, why are we here?
Yeah, they have no cars. They have no the retirement plan is to die, which I love. But Schwartz has so little that the lawyer laughs at him.
I literally was
Katie's
like,
richer.
what is going on?
He has debt. And so the lawyer's basically like, okay, so whatever you make, yeah, while you're married, that gets split. And Tom's like, no, we don't want, we want to keep what each other has, which fine, whatever, put that in the prenup. And then they want to split custody of their animals, which makes Tom very sad.
How much do you think they're making on this show?
That also, why do you only have $200?
That's what I'm saying. Okay, checking, I don't really care because like I have savings. Like a checking and a savings attached to my thing, and I don't. Like
you get what I'm saying? Yes, why you have so little? Yeah, we
just overall. You were on a TV show, which nowadays they're definitely making a lot more on like Bravo's paying out a lot more to all these Bravo celebrities, because they're worth more. But how do you have 47,000, like $5,000, and you've been on a show? This is, let's say 4 seasons you've been paid for a show, and that's all you have to your name. Where's this money going?
I don't know how they're spending this money, but it's wild. You've been on this show for 5 seasons. You should have some
paid for 4 though, because I bet they haven't been paid for the season they're filming.
Paid for 4, but come on.
Even if you have $100,000 a year, that's $400,000. And you are working at SUR still.
Ask to see their taxes. I don't know.
I don't want to be like them.
Same. Okay, so the lawyer says, because Tom's like, hey, if you get a prenup, are you more likely to get divorced? The lawyer's like, nah, good luck at your marriage, but that's about it.
Yeah, I don't think the statistics are really there.
Okay, so now we go to SUR. Ellie's here looking for Sheena, and Sheena's like, Ellie, guess what I said to James? I said, good thing you and Raquel are together, considering. And Ellie's like, we got to tell Raquel everything because we love her so much. No, they just want to. So Ellie found out that James is playing a gig and they want to make him feel so uncomfortable. So they're going to go there and call him out publicly. And they're going to bring Gigi. What a good idea. I've never felt more strongly about an idea before.
This is gross. And especially because he was fired. This is his, like,
just leave him alone.
This is his job. The fact that he got another job after SUR, and this is going to be like one of his first nights at this place, really concerns me. Like, keep out of his business stuff.
100%. I have nothing to add. Great.
And especially because he's like taking care of himself too. Like, he hasn't been drinking. He hasn't been doing anything bad. Like, he's trying to start it fresh. And like, you are going to ruin that. Like, you're going to ruin this person.
Yeah, fuck you. They're not even going for like a specific reason. They just want to destroy him.
They want to destroy his life. And I don't like that.
No. So we go out to eat with Brittany and Jax. They go to a fancy restaurant. They can't even read the menu, but they end up getting just chicken and salmon. So it's okay. They talk about Sherry visiting and the arguing that happened. And then Jax brings up how he does not like organized religion, even though they want him to go, because he used to go to church camp and he shares a chant that he used to have to recite.
I understand that because that shit's burned into you. Yeah. Like, every little like song or something is burned.
I got the brain. Songs. Yeah. But then he remembers church when they would take huge wands and chuck water around, but it wasn't water because when it would hit him, his forehead would be greasy. So it's oil. I know exactly what he's talking about. It is holy water.
I can feel the holy water hitting me.
It's not. It's not oil. It's water.
There might be some oil in there. You never know. But like,
I love how he describes it as a huge wand because I also don't know what it's called. I don't either. It is kind of like a wand.
I'm sure I knew at some point, but my church had 2 versions: the bucket and the wand thing, and then one that was like you could pour water into the little saber thing and just use it.
Oh yeah, we did the bucket. We were bucket people at my church, at my congregation. So Brittany brings up how James is performing, and this weird girl group is gonna go, and Jax is like, "Count me in."
This is where it really put a sour taste in my mouth.
Like, I fucking love DJ James Kennedy. Let's fucking go.
Gigi and whatever that other girl's name is,
Ellie.
Yeah, they really slept with him, and feel like he really wronged them. They have more of a reason to, like, I'll say do something, but the fact that there's going to be this whole brigade just to destroy his life, it just feels like the mob with like the pitchforks and whatever. I
Yeah.
hate it.
So Brittany's basically like, okay, but you can't fight because you're on probation.
Oh.
Hilarious. So then we go to paint and sip. The two couples are here, and then Stassi walks in. It's time to paint, and everyone's doing really well. I love a paint and sip because I do a really good job at those, and I'm not artistic.
I've never done it.
So then, oh, it's so fun.
I don't want the art afterwards. So like, I don't want anything to do with it.
Mine. It's a skyline of Chicago.
Yeah. No. Thanks.
So they talk about New Orleans. Schwartz wants to make sure Stassi and Ariana are cool before they go. So he's like, "Are you guys cool?" And Ariana's like, "Is someone not cool in this situation? It was just a conversation." And Stassi's like, "Actually, it felt really abrasive when you said I don't."
Oh my God! Wait. Stassi is saying somebody else is abrasive. She's one of the most abrasive people I know. Like, pop kettle.
Ariana was not abrasive in that conversation. She was just having a conversation. Stassi's the one that got heated.
True.
So, yeah, Stassi's very offended. Ariana said, "I don't give a fuck about you." But Ariana says, "I don't." And so Stassi's now offended that Ariana is condescending her.
Again, pop kettle.
Also, Ariana just said, "I don't."
She isn't condescending.
I don't.
It just, the thing Stassi is like claiming Ariana is doing to her, Stassi does anyways. She does. Yes. And I agree. I don't think Ariana's being condescending. Could she be nicer? Of course. But like, again, I mean, later in this conversation, like Ariana says, like, we're not friends. So like, I don't care what you think. Like she doesn't have to treat her like, and like fluff her up because they're not friends. Like she doesn't care.
So right away, Ariana's like, "Why do you care if I don't give a fuck about you or not?" And Stassi says they're friends with the same people. And Ariana says, "That's fine." And Stassi says, "It's not fine for her that Ariana made her feel sad." And now Sandoval goes, "You choose how you feel," which I hate when people say that shit.
I
know. It was kind of funny to have Stassi be like, "Ugh." So because now,
I mean, other people should have a responsibility kind of like for how you end up feeling.
I get it. We don't have to get into it. So then Katie's like, "You don't care about your friends, Ariana." And Ariana's like, what would you like me to do in this situation? Like, how would you like me to respond? And Katie's now going off about how Ariana is just so cool and no one else's opinions matter. And Ariana's like, people I want to be friends with. And Stassi says, and then Ariana says Stassi's opinion doesn't matter because they aren't friends. And Katie has an opinion about this and doesn't want to continue. She's like, this conversation. She's like, "I don't want this to happen in my bachelorette and wedding. So that's my opinion." And Ariana's like, "Listen, I'm not in Stassi's little bubble, okay? Like, this is fucking real life." And Katie goes, "You guys need to get along in New Orleans when the girls and the guys are separated." And then Schwartz goes, "Well, Ariana's a groomsman, so she's coming with the dudes." And Katie goes, "Oh.
Oh my God. I feel like no matter what Ariana does, they will be mad at her."
Yeah, because now Katie's upset with Schwartz, and Sandoval's like, "Katie, why are you mad? You didn't want Ariana to be a bridesmaid. So why would she go with you?"
And listen, it's not like at the start of this conversation, Ariana was going to hang with the girls. And because of this conversation, she's now going to be with the boys. Like, Schwartz is just pointing out that, like, hey, this won't be an issue in New Orleans because she really won't be around you guys.
Yes, Katie. Yeah. She was always going to go with the guys. I think it's because Stassi was losing that Katie was like, "Oh, you have to be nice to her because we're going to hang out." And then Schwartz was like, "Well, you're not actually going to hang out with her."
Yeah.
And then Katie's like, "Oh, how could I not want to hang out with her when I didn't want her to be a bridesmaid in the first place?" Like, it makes zero sense.
They just want to be mad. They want to be mad at Ariana at whatever cost. Like, if she were to spend all the time with them, they'd be pissed at her. And the fact that she's not spending time with them at the Bachelorette, they're going to be pissed with her.
And now Katie's fucking mad at everyone at the table, except Stassi.
It's one of those things where it's a lot of misplaced anger. I think Katie just doesn't know.
Katie's mad that it's her wedding and her best friend isn't getting bowed down to the way she should be.
Yes.
And so Katie's only mad. If Ariana had just said, "You're right, I'm sorry," Katie would have just left it and still probably wouldn't have.
Well, if Stassi didn't spiral about it too, I don't really think Katie would have cared.
That's the thing. Stassi kept looking at Katie and being like, "Oh, can you believe this?
Step up, my little soldier, defend me.
Help me." So now we go to DJ James Kennedy's event. James has new music. All his friends and family are coming, and he is excited. You know who else is here? Sheena, Brittany, and Jax. And Sheena's like, James has done such shitty things. We have to call him out at work.
My God.
And then Tom and Ariana are here and are shocked to see Jax here. And you know that Sandoval keeps looking at Ariana and being like, what the fuck is happening?
I would feel a rock in my stomach too, because an altercation's probably coming. And so you're gonna have to get involved.
And Jax admits he's here for an interior motive.
The way Jax doesn't know how to speak makes me feel better.
Ariana too in the background, when she heard him say that, was kind of like, okay.
He says it so confidently.
I'm here for my interior motive.
I like how nobody corrects him though, because they know it's on tape. So he'll just look dumb to the world rather than getting the little happiness that you would to correct him.
The worst though is when he said this, I go, what's the real one?
Ulterior.
Yeah, it took me a while to be like, what's the real one? It's not interior, but what is it?
You think you're dumb.
It looks weird.
Yeah.
Is it weird? That's how I felt. So now James is on the mic. He even raps. It's a choice, but he's doing okay. He's having a good time.
Okay, you know what I'm annoyed about? Sheena is like, wow, this is so cringy. Or it's hard. It's like a car crash. It's hard to look away. Sheena, come on. You have performed on this show.
You were on a bar.
Don't you dare.
You want to know what's embarrassing? Getting onto a bar in those heels that look like gym shoes.
At your engagement party.
That was rough. Yeah, it's all rough, Sheena. So I don't know why we're doing this.
Yeah.
Okay. So Raquel, she's jamming. She fucking loves watching her man up there spit some rhymes. And then Sheena calls it a car accident. It's so bad, but you can't look away. And then Kristen and Carter are here. I don't know why the fuck Carter is here. If I'm Carter, I'm like, why are we going to your ex's event?
That everyone showed up, to be honest, even if something happens here, you packed the house for James. This only helps him.
Hell yeah. Carter, though, red flag, my dude. Why are you encouraging your girlfriend to go hate on her ex?
And being a part of it.
Also,
being an
you guys
accomplice.
are 35 at this point. Why
embarrassing. I would lie to my boyfriend before I ever dragged him to something like this.
Yeah, I'd be like, I'm gonna go kick kids in the face. That'd be better than doing this. So Sandoval immediately, he sees Kristen and he goes, something bad's about to happen, as most people feel. So then Allie and Gigi are here, Eskimo sisters. And so Kristen's explaining all the drama to Carter. And Carter seems into it, and I hate that he's kind of into it. And
dude,
then
he probably wants screen time.
Yeah, Carter's like, I don't have a real job, actually. Kristen, can you hook a bitch up? So Gigi goes over and introduces herself to Raquel. And Raquel, she's like, hi, I'm Gigi. And Raquel's like, oh, I've heard of you. And Gigi's like,
dude, Raquel plays it cool.
What?
Raquel plays it cool. She's like, I've heard of you.
I've heard you're the girl who's obsessed with my boyfriend, but I don't blame you, girl. That's what they do. I don't blame you, girl. And then Gigi's like, actually, he cheated on you. And Gigi's like, also, why aren't you believing me? Isn't Miss California all about feminism? And I was like, you have a bad definition of feminism.
And I don't think pageants are the bedrock of feminism.
Yeah. Feminists are born out of pageants. Also, do you think it's feminist to go up to the girl whose boyfriend you slept with and be like, you dumb bitch, you better believe me that your boyfriend sucks?
That's so true. I didn't even think about that.
Because if you wanted to be a girl's girl, you would have contacted Raquel maybe on Instagram and been like, hey girl,
first.
So
not done this whole spiral on the show even.
Yeah, you wouldn't be trying to make her and her boyfriend look stupid.
Yeah, you would try to help her.
I fucking died. I was like, Gigi, feminism? I don't know. So, she's like, so you're still deciding to date James and that's your choice? Like, fuck you, Rick. And I was like, Rick, feminism. So Gigi asks if there are unicorns in the fantasy world that Raquel lives in.
Rude.
I don't even think Raquel hears her.
These aren't good disses. That's the thing. It's so loud. She's trying to have like a full-on dialogue with her.
You know what would have been funny if Gigi said that and Raquel goes, what? And Gigi repeats herself. What? What did you say? It's like the SpongeBob episode where he's like, we're selling chocolate. She goes, what? That would have been comedy, peak comedy. So then Gigi flips her hair in Raquel's face.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, is Gigi on drugs? So then James comes over to Raquel and Gigi's still there. And now Ellie's here. And James is like, what the fuck is happening?
Ellie's like, you haven't met me. I'm Ellie.
And James is like, these groupies. And then Gigi's like, hey, here's a takeout bag with the clothes I borrowed from you in them when I stayed at your house. And
How weird.
James goes basically like, you stole my clothes.
How weird. You brought clothes to this bar just to prove you slept with him?
I think James did sleep with both of them.
I agree.
But they're not playing it right. You have to play it right.
They look crazy,
look insane.
Obsessed with him. Like, come on.
Because then James is like, James turns up to an 11 and he goes, I would never have sex with you. You're disgusting.
Which would that would crush me to my core if a male was screaming at me at a bar.
Like the music cuts out as he says it and you're just like, oh.
You're like, I'm a disgusting beast.
So I'm just going to go now. Thank you. Yeah. So James tells Gigi.
Yeah. Take out bag girl.
James tells that one girl to get her dumpy ass out of his face. If someone said that, honestly, it's a good diss. I'm gonna pocket for later. Your dumpy ass. That's hilarious. And so,
oh my God.
So Gigi gets really mad and she tries to slap James, but she misses. She just slaps air.
Which uncalled for. We're not there.
We don't have to throw hands.
No.
Gigi. All he said was get your dumpy ass out of here. And that you're disgusting.
I mean, fight with your words, babe. Fight with your words.
Yeah, that's the problem. You know you've lost when you're the first one to resolve it with violence.
I do not condone violence, but if you're gonna slap someone, make it interesting on the show.
You gotta get contact. You can't miss.
That's the thing.
Now I'm laughing at you for missing.
Yeah, you look weak.
So yeah. Do you remember? Okay, I'm throwing it back. But remember Jersey Shore when Sammy and JWoww got into it? And
not really.
JWoww, I'll never forget. Threw the first punch and kind of missed, but then she went in with a second punch. But everyone was like, oh, fuck, she missed. It makes it just seem like you got to connect and you got to make it good. Throw James to that ground.
That's
because you miss and now I'm laughing at you. So Sandoval steps in and he's like, are you serious? And James tells Gigi to stop slapping people, you stupid girl, you slut. So Gigi gets her hands in she holds her hands in James's face. So he swats it away. I don't think it looked like he went for her face.
He kind of put his hand in her.
Was close. Yeah.
He kind of put his hand in her face, get away from me. And it kind of made a little bit of contact, but not a slap or a punch.
It was clearly he was get out of my face.
Yes.
Because she was in his face and he was stop. But it was her hand that was in his face. And I think he went for the hand, but her face was also there.
Yeah.
Listen, I don't think physical violence is right by any means, but
wasn't great that he touched her. I don't want males, that sounds weird, touching females. I mean, in that way, but the way that she's
oh, that's the thing though. When he did it,
he did not hurt her.
Slowly dipped down her face.
Yes, he did not
a raindrop
hurt her.
No, yeah, but DJ goes. She starts swinging because he touched her and she's screaming.
She's like, how dare you? And it's like, bitch, you swung first though.
He touched me.
Yeah.
So James goes over to Kristen and Jackson Carter and is like, thanks for coming.
Love
which
that.
Was funny.
Love
and immediately Kristen's in fighter mode. And she's like, get the fuck away, you better fucking walk away. And he's like, whatever, have a good night, ugly. And so then Carter calls him DJ dipshit. So James calls them jealous, which really angers Jack. So he shucks his drink at James. So James then answers by throwing a glass at Jax, which crashes in the back of the brick wall. But now Jax is up and he's chasing James, and some poor dude with glasses gets in the middle of it.
Oh, that was rough.
Fighting the guy, and the guy's like, what the fuck?
That guy didn't deserve any of this.
James like scurries away, and the security guard grabs Jax, and Kristen goes after him and tells the security guard to kick James out of here. And so James is outside with a cig in his mouth now, calling them all losers. But he does get kicked out, and he tells Sandoval that he has loser friends. Because it looks like Sandoval brought them here. So James,
it kind of does. That's true. That's tough.
But James also needs his Gucci jacket. And then the cops are here. It escalated. Then Sandoval finds Jax and Kristen, is like, what the fuck was that? And Kristen's like, why are you defending James?
Well,
and
Kristen's like, this is none of your business. And I was like, Kristen, you being here is none of your business.
What are you doing here?
Absolutely Kristen? None of this is your business.
Are you here to support your good friends Gigi and Ellie?
Yeah.
Your besties? So Jax is like, James came up to me and tried to kick me in the shins. And I was like, where? And so Sandoval even is like, you threw the drink first, though. Do you see how
you showed up?
Antagonize him.
You even showing up is antagonizing him.
Yeah, so Sandoval's trying to like explain this. Jax and Kristen aren't getting it, and that's how it ends. Great. So next time, the boys play dress up in Lisa's closet. Raquel asks James if he's loyal while she's away. Katie tells Sheena that people think she's fake, and Sheena freaks out and storms off. Stassi is still upset that Ariana doesn't like her, and Katie hates that Ariana's in the wedding. Can we really quick talk about how over 3 episodes, maybe 4, Stassi cannot get over that Ariana hates her?
I love it. Like, Ariana's living rent free.
Yeah, doesn't care. Okay, who's your blocked?
I'm going with, I had it.
I'll go.
Go.
One with fucking Kristen.
Okay.
It's
Jax.
Weird. It's weird. Okay. It's weird you're fucking showing up. It's weird.
I agree. Yeah. And Jax just tailspinned after.
He
had me for a second, and then he lost me.
Let my dude James live.
I know my accepted. It's
James.
I'm really proud of him for like trying something, especially being a good friend and like doing whatever Sandoval's into. And I think he won that fight. So
all he said was thank you for coming.
Thank you.
I would do the same thing. I'm gonna who am I gonna fucking upset? Hang on, I have to go through this now. I'm not gonna accept Katie. I'm not accepting Brittany. I'm not gonna accept Stassi. Am I gonna double on James? I felt it with James.
Oh, I really thought you were gonna go Ariana.
Nah, I think I'm gonna double on James.
He deserves it.
He won this argument, man. Gigi and Ellie look stupid. They looked stupid before James showed up. And then he was just, I love when he's like, I need my Gucci jacket. Like, it is so funny. James is the best fucking comedy that this show has ever fucking seen.
100%.
He's a star. The best thing Kristen Doty ever did was bring him into the show. That hilarious.
Yeah.
Great. Okay, do all the things, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah, thanks for joining.
Next time. Bye.
Bye.